I'm Cider Spider, and I'm setting out to complete 2,000 Mentor Roulettes in Final Fantasy XIV. This is a queue that includes almost every piece of content in the entire game, where veteran players are grouped with noobs to help guide them. There's no telling what might happen as I take on this challenge 10 roulettes at a time. So, let's get started. Well, because my suffering truly knows no end, we are back with another 10 Mentor Roulettes. I have been neglecting these fiercely for, goodness, a few months at this point. But let's go ahead and queue in and see what we get. Maybe if we're lucky, it'll be something fun. Oh, that was fast. Great hunt. Okay. Well, now that I've actually played real-life Monster Hunter, this should be easy. Also, I like that it's 3 mentors here and 1 little baby nooblet. Apparently, this person is grinding the fight, so I might get dragged in here a couple times tonight. Oops. Man, it's really weird using the Stormblood kit again. I don't remember how anything works. I've got deployment tactics, but no recitation. Like, what is this? That's a charge, yeah. You know, people are thinking with the new Monster Hunter game out and the current Final Fantasy expansion that we might get another crossover someday. I'd say it's entirely possible. Yoshi P is on the record saying that he felt that the Monster Hunter version of the FF14 crossover, which was the Behemoth fight back in, I'd want to say, it was either World or Rise. Apparently, it was way better than this. Yoshi P, not one to be outdone, apparently wanted another shot at doing one better. Oh, Esuna. Right. I forgot, Esuna matters in this fight. And now we all try not to burn to death, at which point my healing will stop working, I believe. Yep. So now we gotta use these silly potions. I could be mistaken, but I think with the down gauge, what matters is the amount of times we hit them, not necessarily the damage we do. So at this point, I can spam almost anything. It's probably fine. Sacred Soil. Yeah. Potion. Esuna. Esuna. I gotta be able to potion this, right? Oh my god. Well, that's cool. I don't know what you're supposed to do when you get chain stunned. Yeah, take that, idiot. Now you don't have a tail. Oh, right. Lustrate does nothing. Can I at least shield anymore? No. No, it's all potions. Esuna. Why can't I reach? There we go. We got it. Come on, knock it down. Alright. Should be an easy kill. Change strat. And easy. Oh, this is a monumental task. Hope I don't have to do that too many more times. Random bunny girl grinding Rathalos on a whatever day it is. On the bright side, I never actually grinded this myself, and so if it comes up a lot in Mentor Roulette, that'll be okay, because it'll just mean that I get all the stuff from it without having to try. So then, let's go ahead and see what is next. Whoa, at least the queues are popping quickly. I've had some really long queue times lately, one of it being the very end of the patch cycle, so I was a little worried. Oh no, not Vana's body. Why is it always this dungeon? Alright, pray continue onward. Oh, whoops. I accidentally cast Chain Strat on a random thing because I'm used to having Baneful Impaction in Dawn Trail. That's one of the downsides to the extensive level syncing in this game. It's nice that I can play with my friends at any given time, but it is kind of awkward that the only place I get to use the level 100 toolkit is on the very few level 100 duties that are in rotation. Also, the Sprout is our tank, and the tanking is just fine. Thinking the gear is made of cardboard. No, it's all level 100 stuff. What's going on here? Oh no, the disconnection. No, we need our tank. Well, we don't really. I can just scholar tank it, it's fine. It might be fine. I'm so dead. It almost worked. Oh, wait, we've got a tank. Wait, no we don't. I need Celine. I asked if anybody here is first time, none of them are, so I don't feel bad messing around. It's either we stand here and wait for the tank, or we do what little we can. This is quite something. Yay, we did it. Oh my god, the tank is back. We can pray continue onward. Unfortunately, when we have a tank and everything's going smoothly, it's actually more boring. The boss can't even hit us. Look at this. Look how cringe taking damage is. We can't even do it. And Celine just does all the healing, so. Honestly, this really might be one of the worst dungeon bosses they've ever made. Maybe that's why I dislike this dungeon. I mean, As if I needed another reason. There's so many reasons to dislike this dungeon, but yeah, this is like by far one of the most boring dungeon bosses. The second boss, that stupid scorpion elephant, is probably just as bad. It doesn't help you've got painfully slow pulls like this. Like, we got 3 dudes. That's as many as we get. I gotta say, I know this game is made to be, like, pretty easy so that your casual visual novel gamers can play through the story and enjoy it, but there is something to be said about difficulty as a narrative device. You know, this was like the most hopeless moment of Endwalker where everything is going wrong and we actually don't know if we're going to be able to fix it or not. You know, there's a lot of people dying, all kinds of death and destruction all around, and we're just like watching frantically, trying anything we can to save whoever might still be alive. So this would be the perfect place to have like the hardest dungeon ever so that you truly feel the overwhelming weight of the situation. And you know, maybe some casual players would suffer a little bit, you know. Maybe some roulette white mages would have some difficulty, but imagine how awesome it would feel in the moment to actually be facing what feels like the final days instead of just one of the most boring dungeons in the game. Because it definitely looks the part. It looks like a desperate situation. Wow, the whole jungle's on fire. Everybody's turning into monsters. But then it just translates into this. There's 3 big dudes slapping you a little bit, and it kind of tickles. This is why one of my favorite parts of Endwalker was actually In From the Cold, which I understand there was a lot of flack for because casual gamers thought it was too difficult, but it was great. I played it on launch before they nerfed it, and it was a fantastic duty because it put you in a desperate situation where you couldn't just fight your way out. Being simply stronger than the people around you was no longer a factor at play, and so it had a sense of difficulty, which served the narrative because that was the whole point. It showed the contrast between the average goober and the warrior of light, and it also kind of put your willpower to the test, and so it was really satisfying when you got it right and you finally got through it. Frustrating at times, sure, but that was part of the theme. Like, it was supposed to be difficult to overcome. I wish they would do stuff like that in dungeons more often, especially because in a dungeon you've got 3 other people to help you. Unfortunately, all we get is this. We get 3 mobs, then a wall, and some of the most boring boss fights in the entire expansion. Getting knocked back is for goobers. Just don't do it. Want to find out what happens when we don't get in the water bubble to avoid the mechanic? That's right. Nothing. Nothing happens. He doesn't break your shield. You don't collect $200. Nothing happens. Oh no, a Vuln stack. If he hits me a second time, I might lose some health. I'm in the water. Okay, we're fine. Made a whoopsie. Might as well chain strat. There's not going to be anything within the next 2 minutes that requires it. Oh, actually, he's going to do the fire attack again, but the Vuln stack from the first one already fell off, so I don't need to do anything. Lol. And just because I know there's going to be that one guy in the comments, yes, we're doing this at basically max eye level. It hit a little bit harder on launch when nobody had gear. It was still just as easy, though. You couldn't ignore the Vuln stacks like I am, but you still weren't necessarily dying on these attacks if you failed them. I was there. I did this day 1. Alright, we're going to use Fey Union to do the rest of the healing, because I can't be bothered. Honestly, don't even need it. Never mind. Turn that off. Save that. Do it on the next pull. Well, at least Art of War is a gain on 2, because I ain't got much else I can do here. Here we go. It's time for the Sky Noodle. Anytime you get a mechanic with 2 colors, it's almost always resolve opposites. There's very few cases where that's not the way it's done. Alright, we don't gotta let this guy push us around. Lol, knockback is for chumps. And now we get to do this nonsense where we run back and forth. Strafe if I had a strafe button, but I don't. Alright, time for second burst. Unfortunately, it seems I will be pushed around. But I will not be taking any damage at this time, for that would in fact be cringe. I'll let Celine handle the tank's health bar. Seems like a Celine problem more so than a me problem. My job is to broil. And yippee skippy, we're done. This'll calm the tank, why not? Treasure awaits, nothing. I'll be free then. Yay. So we might as well dive right into the next one. Nothing to lose, nothing to gain. I don't know, might be something to gain. Oh my god, it's Bachman. We are going under the armor. And there's Cat Girls. Her name is Creamy Thighs. Yeah, that sounds about right. Welcome to Crystal Data Center. That's what we got here. Yeah, he gets a comm, I guess. Feels wrong to calm a cat girl over a Fembro, but the Fembro doesn't have an adventurer plate. She broke the first rule of the game. As soon as you create a character, make an adventurer plate. It's required. Let me show you dummies how to do it. Well, a lot of people around here be running around with a Sprout icon and no adventurer plate. Look at this character menu, and then right here near the top, adventurer plate. Wow, look at that. And there's all these buttons. You can edit it. You need to do this. This is the first thing you do. As soon as you get out of the tutorial and they let you actually play the game, the first thing you do is create this adventurer plate. You got to make your picture and search comment, your layouts, all that stuff. Mandatory. Make an adventurer plate or get banned. Shout out to Yoshi P. The P stands for plate. All right, well, let's see where we get sent off to next. Okay, Manor. Nice hat. These might be like real Sprouts. This guy's watching the cutscene. Bro, he has an adventurer plate. This guy understood the assignment. I have Adlo here. I don't need a physic. I have Adlo. I don't have Art of War, though, so I have to cast Soccer Ball. Let me grab this key. The upside to this being a Realm Reborn dungeon, as with all Realm Reborn dungeons, is that basically Celine does all the healing. Let's try not to let our tank die. Celine needs to do more healing. Heal faster, Celine. You're making me cast things and I don't like it. Oh, I forgot my tech. Normally I would unlock the door while we do the pull there. You're not gonna be able to pick that up as a tank. I stand corrected. Oh, that was the tactical stun. Okay, so this tank is not really a Sprout. No one would know to do that if they hadn't done this several times. This is a fake Sprout. Honestly, we could have just taken all this stuff straight into the boss room and started the boss fight. We wouldn't even really need to kill it. It's crazy at this level. Every 3 autos is 1 ruin. At level 100, I have to do about 10 minutes worth of auto attacks to equate to 1 broil. But at this level, 3 auto attacks, 3 smacks with a book is equivalent to one of my spells. So I get 30% more damage just for having auto attacks enabled. You know, give or take. Let's see if the tank does the super pull. Come on, you know you want to. Yeah, looks like we're not. You can take all these skeletons and run all the way around the entire basement. And if your healer ain't Garbo, you can pull the whole thing off without incident. You might be surprised how beautiful it will be. Well, at least we're doing it without the initial skeletons, but we got most of the pull. All right. This is gonna get rough. Managed to get Biolysis on almost everything. Honestly, it's not even rough. The crit Adlos are doing all the heavy lifting. Never mind. There's not even any damage really to heal. Oh, let me go ahead and unlock the door. Oh, we'll go ahead and grab the key. All right, that shield's going to do the rest of the work. I'm going to go unlock the door, and we're ready to begin. Come on, Galvanize. Come on, Galvanize. No luck. The perfect stuns. Yeah, this is practically the dream team. You're not going to get much faster runs of this dungeon without pushing the absolute boundaries. Now we just get to wait and see if the tank knows the swaggy pre-pose for the updated boss pattern. Oh, I'm not even fooded up. Current version of this boss has a couple of pretty pathetic mechanics, but you can avoid most of them with pre-positioning, especially if you're the tank. Well, like this guy, he's going to do a gaze attack, so if we just pre-po facing away from him, we never have to move. We've already pre-moved. Now she's going to summon something on the side of the room. He's going to pull us over there so we can just pre-move. Yep. And then we just don't even have to worry about it. Just keep on hitting the boss. Already looking away. Easy. Calm definitely goes to that tank. You don't always get tanks that good in ARR dungeons, but sometimes you do. Hurry up and roll on the loot. I want those pantaloons. I don't think this guy knows how to roll on loot. Yay, pantaloons. Well, immediately queue into the next one. Ain't no rest for the wicked. That right, Cecily? Sorkai. Well, I don't really love or hate this dungeon, but it's something different. I don't see it all the time. Linnell isn't wearing the Scylla robe. How very quality. One of those underrated glams. Anyway, I don't really remember anything about this dungeon, so I'm just gonna do whatever the heck. Oh, what I would give to have Bane on Scholar again. This 1x1 DOT crap is for the birds. It always feels weird having Dissipation available in Heavensward. It feels like such a Stormblood ability. Really tornadoes? Anyway, time to beat up Moggle. I don't remember what this boss does. Apparently nothing. I guess he just kind of dies. Rest in peace, idiot. Speaking of the birds, here they are. We found them. You gotta hitch those cocks. You know, like the chicken, like the rooster. This probably won't kill me. Honestly, it barely even hurt. I'm pretty confident Celine can out-heal this. And it seems like that's working so far. Silly pony, die. Well, time for the boss fight. Some people pointed out the last time I did this, apparently they changed it. They removed some kind of like jumping mechanic that I don't frickin' remember at all. It was changed recently though, like in Endwalker or something, and I last did this back during Shadowbringers, but it's been so long that I can't even recall what it used to be like before. Oh man, Akmorn. I was trying to not heal anybody. Bro. These casters really like getting hit with stuff. Really enjoying those vuln stacks. You know, this is supposed to prepare me to fight Nidhogg. I don't remember him casting Icy Floor at any point. I'm just saying, kind of the opposite of what Nidhogg was doing. There was no ice skating in that fight as I recall it. Oh boy. Akmorn with 1,000,000 bones. Good thing it's a dungeon boss and not a trial. Look at this. It still can't hit us. What's even the point of an Akmorn if it does that much damage? I don't think these gamers know how to read animation tells. Or maybe they're just trying to get hit as many times as possible. You never know. Well, alright. Go with that. Give it to the Femelizin. I actually got some healer loot. And there's a song I don't have. Let's roll for that. Pretty good number. Seems like we're gonna have a lot of outfit options to choose between today. If anybody ever, you know, rolls on the loot. Alright. Music. Well, that brings us to the halfway mark. We are 5 out of 10 for today, which means I guess I should go ahead and shill stuff. So yeah, if you made it this far, definitely like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out my Twitch channel where I also stream the game live, among other things, at twitch.tv/CiderSpider. And go ahead and leave a comment for me. The question will be based off of our second dungeon. Is there any duty in the game that you wish was actually more difficult? Something that you think might be more fun if it had more challenge in it? You know, dial it up a little bit. My answer obviously would be Vanaspati. I feel like the theme of the dungeon would come across better if it was more desperate feeling. So yeah, let me know what you think. But otherwise, let us continue. Where might we end up next? Greyflux Longstop. Oh, I seem to have Adlo at this level, so we should be okay. And crit Adlo no less. Alright, well our tank obviously isn't new. He's a god of the hand. That's all crafters at level 80, which means he has to at least own Shadowbringers. I'm gonna go grab the key. Yeah, I can make it. Just don't die. Adlo, okay, cool. Perfect. Always nice to have a small optimization like that. And while he fights that, I can go ahead and unlock the gate. And now we can kill the boss in style. Well, my food buff only has 6 minutes on it, but if we're quick here, that might be enough. I could probably heal the tank, but I'm not going to. I think Celine has got it covered. Oh yeah, it's fine. I will heal the tank by killing the boss. Alright, now we can cast an Adlo, since it's no damage loss anymore. Might as well fish for crits, got nothing better to do. Might take a little effort to keep him alive on this one. No mitts anyway. Nope, crit Adlo. Too easy. It is in fact still Celine's world that we're living in. Oh, don't pull that. We don't need that. Doing the optionals? I don't even think we get anything for that. So the pro strat with the Beast is to evoke it as soon as it spawns. Looks like our paladin here is doing that functionally with that shield bash. It's a good move. Alright, let's see if he does the big pull. It's an easy heal for me if he does. But I know a lot of ARR healers are not so bold. It looks like we're going though. Don't stop. Don't stop. If you stop, you're lost. Oh crap. I got turned into mitigation. Wish I had more buttons than Adlo at this level. I'd be able to help out a bit more, but well, at this level I am just a cure bot and nothing more. Occasionally Celine takes over and I get to be a broil bot. I'm not stepping out of this, I just don't care. The magic vulnerability up, that's too bad. Okay, the dragon flies away and on we go. This weird 4 boss dungeon. You know, the biggest problem this dungeon has is that it's at that awkward level where you don't quite have your full toolkit. But I like that the layout's different. It used to have this last pull, this one we just did, used to be like just a giant swamp, and so it was kind of like the first room of Aram Vale, you know? But yeah, this is a dungeon that has like 4 bosses, and all the pulls are really weird. And there used to be more stuff like this. Not standard, you know? I know I complain endlessly about the pack boss, hallway boss design that we get now, but I complain endlessly about it because it's so played out. It's hard to stop complaining about it, especially because, again, in the past, even so far back as the first expansion, there were more interesting dungeon layouts than that. I'm not asking them to reinvent the wheel here, but at least make it a bit less predictable, you know? Why can't a dungeon have 4 bosses? Why can't a dungeon have 2 bosses? Why can't a dungeon be anything other than hallway boss, hallway boss, hallway boss? You know, so many other ways we could design these things. We don't even have to think outside of the box. Just mix it up a little bit. What if it was 4 hallways and then 2 bosses with no breaks in between? Why not? At least make it feel like it's kind of different, even if it's functionally the same. The trash packs don't even matter anymore. They used to be there for gauge building, but now every job has a free gauge button, so it doesn't even matter. You know, back in the day, back before, like, late Heavensward, I want to say. I wasn't there, I've just heard about it, but cooldowns didn't reset when you died, and some of them were longer, and so, you know, you needed more downtime. Nowadays, everything's 2-minute cooldown. We don't need as much downtime. We don't need 2 hallways worth of downtime in between every boss fight in a dungeon. It just doesn't really serve any purpose. Mind you, the trash packs and dungeons would be fine if they were fun to fight against. The biggest problem is they're just not really that fun to fight against. That's what I like about the old school Realm Reborn dungeons, is that because there aren't as many gates on the pulls, you could pull everything in between the bosses, which means you effectively have like a soft scaling difficulty. It's a lot harder to fight every single mob at once in a hallway versus just 3 at a time, the way they force you to do now. And so any random bog standard dungeon can kind of be a challenge if your tank pulls everything. But yeah, that was too interesting, I guess, so they got rid of that. Anyway, there's no loot here for me, so I will take my leave. Well, let's see where we end up next. Hooray! Vanguard. Well, at least I have most of my kit at this level. I almost get to play the whole game. A couple of cutscene chads. Looks like we got some first-time Dawn Trail gamers. I hope they're having fun. This is one of the better dungeons in the base MSQ, I would say, so they'll probably be having fun. I wish they'd do a little more damage, though. Holy crap, we suck. What is this? What are we doing here? Man. Yeah, this might be a long one. Let's see if I can do it the swag-tacular. Nope. There's a timing you can move with to where you stay on the inside of the circle and still avoid the swing. But I never mastered it. I'm used to having bad ping though, so it might be one of those tricks that's just not for me. Oops, that was... Well, it's fine. No loot for me. Yeah, this one's kind of hard to diagnose. It's hard to see if there's anything explicitly wrong happening, but our damage is just kind of low. But we are getting regular bard songs. And the ninja appears to be doing something, so maybe it's just low eye levels. I guess 2 of these guys are watching cutscenes, so if they're first timers, they probably have trash gear. Oh god, yeah, this guy's wearing level 90 stuff. Yeah, that would explain it. Oh god, yeah, they're both wearing level 90 stuff. This is something I actually kind of wish was different, and it's probably not a popular opinion, but I kind of wish the game cared more about gear during the MSQ. The way it is now, you could take your level 90 gear all the way to level 100 MSQ. You're almost never punished for it. They give you free 99 gear right before the end of the expansion, and so, like, there's never gearing as a part of the main story process. There's stuff that you get from the dungeons on the way, but if your 90 gear is best in slot, you don't even get anything that's better than it until right about this level. This is the dungeon where you start to get stuff that's better than what you're already wearing, and so there's never a point where you really need to care about what you're wearing. Whereas I think the expansion leveling process for the first job, the first time through, you know, might be more fun if you actually had to care about that stuff a little bit. If it made a difference whether or not you got loot from the dungeons up to this point, but unfortunately it doesn't. Oh god. But yeah, you know, call me crazy. I think it would be kind of nice if some of these MSQ dungeons actually did have like an eye level requirement that was a little bit higher than the base eye level for the expansion, so that every now and then you would take a break from talking to Wooklabot and, you know, go off the beaten track and hunker down and farm some gear. Nothing too crazy, just add a little bit of a detour, you know? They used to have that in Realm Reborn. I guess maybe I'm just that old man. Back in the day, everything was better or something, but, you know, they used to have that in Realm Reborn, and nowadays, the way the MSQ is designed, they just want you to rocket through the story as quickly as possible. You never take any breaks from it. There's never any incentive to stop doing the story until you're done with it. And that's great if you like visual novels, but for an MMORPG, it's missing kind of some of that MMO flair. 'Cause honestly, like, when I play a new expansion, and I'm sure this is probably true for most people. I basically just do nothing but the story until I'm done with the story. I don't do a couple of zones and then go take a break to grind fate events. And part of that is because there's nothing else to do on an expansion launch other than story, but also the other part of it is there's not really an incentive to do other things until you're done with the story. It feels like they really only design it for you to care about getting to the end game as quickly as possible, but then there's not even that much end game at the beginning of an expansion. I don't know, it's just kind of baffling. They put so much effort and budget into the MSQ, but then they try and get you out of there as fast as possible. You never really have to work for any part of the main story. It's all just given to you. You always get enough XP to level up. You always have enough gear to do the next task. They give you everything you need. There's nothing to work for, and so all you're really doing is just reading the script, which is only fun if the script is good. It just seems like the design philosophy is it's a little bit off. It's a bit warped. So in other words, Dawn Trail bad. There's my weekly complaint for you. Although, what I'm talking about, though, is not actually a specific Dawn Trail problem. It's just kind of like the game as a whole really suffers from this. Like, the past 3 expansions have been this way. They've leaned fully into the theme park design style. And something I would like to see is a little bit more sandbox element mixed in, that's all. Something I complain about a lot is how all the zones now are tied to the story, whereas, again, going back to ARR, you had to choose your starting city-state, and there were certain parts of the map that you couldn't specifically travel to, namely getting to and from Limsa before level 15 was difficult. But the entire map was there, and they never gated you at any point, so like if I spawned in Gridania, I could walk to Ul'dah if I wanted to. It would be treacherous and difficult, but they didn't stop you from doing that. And so the world was just open, it wasn't gated behind the MSQ. Whereas in the expansions, like you physically cannot go explore the world. You have to do the MSQ first to unlock the zones, whereas the ability to explore outside of your level or outside of your MSQ progression is more the sandbox style, the sandbox way of doing things, and I wish that there was a little bit more of that these days. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with Vanguard, which is where we are now, fighting a weird snake man. Yippee. Oh, don't stand there, senpai. Alright. Uh-oh. Oh god, a little bit treacherous, but I think we're gonna be okay. Yep, we got him. Tank was good, but holy crap, I hope these guys get some better gear soon. No gear for me, dropped. It's tragic. Away we go. Alright. So far it's been a pretty chill week, a lot of the same old, same old. Let's see what we get now. It's Vanguard. What are the odds? We got 3 mentors and that guy. What did that guy do? Well, nobody here appears to be first timing, so let's just see how different our clear times are. That last one was almost a flat 20 minutes. Can it be done? No, I failed it. One of these days I'll get it. Down he goes. Yeah, this is going way faster. And now it's time to spin. Whoa, ring around the rosy. Yippee, everybody loves spinning. Better not stand in the bad. And he's dead. Yay. Well, here we go. Time to deal with this idiot again. Yeah, it's looking like this actually wasn't much faster than the last one. Practically the same clear time. Close enough anyway. Lo and behold, the gear didn't make that much of a difference. No healer items dropped. I'll be on my way. Oh, just a couple things left. I'm actually falling asleep. We gotta wrap this up. Please, no more Vanguard. Well, I mean, this isn't Vanguard. Or Zormor. At least we've got the Midlander of the week. You know, when I ran into that Vieira at the beginning of this, it was apparently grinding Great Hunt Extreme. I was kind of hoping that would come back up. That would have been a quick and easy week if I just had to do a couple of those. These MSQ dungeons take forever. Alright, well, time for some fun. And all those are gonna explode. I'm gonna run over here. And then the rest of them are gonna explode easy. It's just too easy. Shout out to Yoshi P. The P stands for Peasy Lemon Squeezy. Alright, get this guy out of here. There we go. Oh, hello, Zoralja. Oh, goodbye. And have fun over there. Hope nothing bad happens to you. It sure is convenient of every single dungeon that we visit in the world and other worlds as well to come fully stocked with gear befitting of some of the strangest, most random and bizarre combat jobs you can possibly imagine. Like, what are the odds we climb up the ancestral mountain of the giants who once colonized and basically enslaved the entire continent? And for some reason up here they've got like star globes, you know, they're like giant paintbrushes. I guess a paintbrush could be almost anywhere, but a star globe, a rapier with a Christmas ornament, like what are they doing with a book of arcane spells? Oh, not to mention the one job that just uses a gun. I can only imagine how some of this stuff got here. You know, if gun blades were created by Bosins and co-opted by the Garleans, why the heck do the giants of Taral have gun blades on their sacred ancestral mountain? Just food for thought, I don't know. Oh boy, the triangle. Triangle of safety wins every time. Did not work out for that painter, though. Get up, you goober. You will live to finger paint another day. I gotta free myself with the art of war. The only HP that matters is the last. I'm not about to hardcast a sucker. We don't need lollipops. Actually, still have sucker at this level. It hasn't turned into concitation yet. I don't know. What are they calling it these days? Allied Suck-ciety? Uh-oh. Oh, that's too many people. Well, good luck. Look, as healer 2, I always run to the east. I ran to the east the first time. I'll run to the east the second time. Thank goodness we had a summoner, or I'd be sitting here like an idiot for 15 minutes. 15 minutes, I say. He had 15% health, but... Alright, I guess we're casting Suck-ciety. Oh, that's not good. Let's just kill this and then everybody can just respawn. That's probably going to be the best case scenario here. It will take me longer to res them than it will for us to kill the boss. But I don't want to look like a bad mentor, so I guess I'll pick these goobers up. The correct thing to do here would be to just kill the boss and have them respawn because they're going to have death debuff going into the next ad pull, which is just a waste of time, really. But, well, oh well. Yeah, lo and behold, it's taken forever to kill everything. Well, this sucks. Alright, Celine, keep this Dark Knight alive. Only you can. I don't have any resources. Oh yeah, we are chilling. No big deal. Now it's time to go deal with the big deal. Good old Gerfler. Wait, isn't there an S rank named Burfler in Labyrinthos? No relation, I'm sure.
Chronicles of Eld. Recount the fury of erupting beaks.
Oh yeah, this is one of those bosses that talks too dang much. No one cares about your stories, old man. Oh right, yeah, we gotta take all this. He kind of got a lot of those.
Tremble.
Ow. What about just don't do the knockback? Some storms ain't that cruel at all. Guess really you want to save knockback mitt for the second one, because that's the one with tornadoes, but I don't care. Some old man and his stupid chronicles are not gonna bother me. This Dark Knight really loves to overlap me with stuff. Alright, now we knock back mitt. And this does nothing. Alright. That Gerfler. Dropped a card I already have. Fending, poncho, and some kind of stupid stick. Nothing that I care about, so I'll be on my way. Well, alright. It's time for the last roulette of the night, and then I can finally sleep. Holy crap, I'm tired. Hope it's not something crap. Oh man, of all times to give me like a guild hest, now would be perfect. Come on, Yoshi P. Don't let me down now. Copper Bell Mines, yeah, that's fine. This is quick and easy. We've got a Gunbreaker, that means our tank is definitely not a first timer. It also means I don't get to use any AoE abilities. Hooray. Alright. And now's the moment of truth. What's the tank gonna do here? Well, no pre-pull sprint means we're probably not running the... I don't know. We might still run the full gambit. Let's see. If you basically run from here all the way to the next boss room, half of the trash will just tether and you don't even fight it. Okay, I guess we're gonna fight it. If we keep running, you don't even have to kill any of this. But we can if we want to. Why not? I mean, it's not like we get XP for it anymore, but it's the thought that counts. Time for Kotos, the boss where you don't have to do any of the mechanics because it's too weak to do any damage. Let's see if I can stand in this spot for the entire fight. I think I can. Oh no, lumbering leap. Gonna hit me twice? Gonna hit me 3 times? That could be bad. Yeah, no. Honestly, I didn't even have to heal. I could just eat it. Oh no, Colossal Slam. Whoa. Not only is taking damage cringe, apparently now so is moving. I mean, what's he gonna do, kill me? No, he can't. He sucks. I'll eat all 3 of these. Assuming he gets to cast them. He doesn't. Whoa. Worst pause ever. Dancing on the elevator is required. Alright, so the strat here is one person pulls everything from that side, another person pulls everything from this side. We meet in the middle, and we kill them all simultaneously. Because they tether if you try to pull them all the way across. But apparently I can just pull them myself, it doesn't matter because they don't do enough damage to where I can't tank them anyway. Thanks, Celine. Alright, we'll place the powder, and in we go. Well, alright. Let's play our favorite game. Can I stand in this spot? Yeah, it seems like I probably can. I'll do the whole fight without moving, because moving is cringe. Oh no, I'm getting Venn diagrammed. Oh, that's bad. Oh. Lol. It's not even half my health. So it would take 4 of those simultaneously to kill me, and you can't even get hit by that many. I don't think you can anyways. Looks like 3's the limit. And you gotta really try to get that 3. Funny, because I don't even have to cast any heals. Celine just does all it for me. I just stand here and broil. Ruin. I throw soccer balls at it. Celine heals me. I ignore all the mechanics. And nothing bad ever happens. Alright, let's see if Celine can heal the tank through this. I think she probably can. Yeah, doubled up with the Whispering Dawn. We should be chilling here. Don't have to cast a single physic. It's just not needed. Well, alright. You already know the name of the game. It's Do I Have to Move? To get within striking distance from my melees, we're gonna smack this guy a lot, and I will not move, and I will not have to. AoEs, mechanics, they're all just a formality. 110 damage? Stubbing my toe hurts more than that. Oh no, gigantic smash. 127 damage. Now we're getting serious. Yeah, this guy is embarrassing. He was trapped down here for 400 years. This is as angry as he could get. You gotta do a little bit better. And there we have it. Apparently I don't have this orchestrion roll, so I'll roll for that. Probably cost 3 gil on the market board, but I might as well try and grab a copy of it. I did not win it. Lame. And yeah, there we are. That is all 10 of our Mentor Roulettes. I would say that was a pretty chill week. Not too bad. I've definitely had much worse. Those dungeons are about to put me to sleep, though, and seeing as how it's 3 a.m., I think it's a good time to go to sleep. So, yeah, let's go ahead and tally everything up and roll the outro. Wait a second, hold the phone. I forgot I need to make a glam. So I don't really have a lot to work with here. I keep getting pants and hats and stuff, but I can't get any good shirts. Yeah, the only shirt I got is this one. I don't know. It's not really my style. But I think this is the glam we're gonna be stuck with. I look like I'm ready to take on the Great Juju Challenge. Hopefully we get some better stuff next time. So now, let's roll the outro. And there you have it. This week we had 1 trial, 1 guild test, and 8 dungeons, bringing our totals up to this. The session was 2 hours and 40 minutes, bringing our total time up to this. Anyway, I need to get back to procrastinating and complaining. 1 like equals 1 complaint. Okay, bye.
Let this moment last forever.